Rebecca Harris sat on the edge of her seat, gripping the armrest as the bus jostled over the uneven road. Her 9-year-old son, Ethan, dozed beside her, his head resting on her shoulder. The journey from Dallas to Austin had been long and tiring, but the prospect of starting anew kept Rebecca awake. She glanced out the window at the passing countryside, her thoughts drifting back to the events that had brought her here. After a bitter divorce from her wealthy and unfaithful husband David, Rebecca had found herself at a crossroads. Losing her job as a school counselor was the final blow. Just when things seemed darkest, a letter from Mr. Anderson, an elderly acquaintance, arrived, informing her of an unexpected inheritance. The letter spoke of a house in Austin, a place Rebecca had never visited. Desperate for a fresh start, she decided to take a leap of faith. The bus finally screeched to a halt at a small, inconspicuous stop. Rebecca nudged Ethan awake. "Ethan, we're here," she whispered. He rubbed his eyes and looked around, bewildered by the lack of any significant landmarks. "Mom, is this really the place?" Ethan asked, his voice tinged with doubt. Rebecca took a deep breath and smiled reassuringly. "Yes, this is it. Let's go find our new home." They stepped off the bus, and Rebecca felt a pang of anxiety as the bus pulled away, leaving them in what seemed to be the middle of nowhere. She pulled out the letter with the address and started walking down the dirt road. After a few minutes, a taxi approached, and the driver, a man in his late 30s with a kind face, rolled down the window. "Need a ride?" he asked. Rebecca hesitated for a moment before nodding. "Yes, please. We're looking for this address," she said, showing him the letter. The driver, Tom, glanced at the address and smiled. "Hop in. I know exactly where that is." As they drove, Tom struck up a conversation. "So, moving to Austin, huh? What brings you here?" Rebecca explained her situation, and Tom listened intently. "Well, you're in for a surprise. The house you're moving into is quite special," he said cryptically. Rebecca's curiosity was piqued, but before she could ask further, they arrived at their destination. The house stood at the end of a quiet street, larger than Rebecca had imagined. It had an inviting, albeit slightly worn, charm. Tom helped them with their bags. "Welcome to your new home," he said with a smile. Rebecca thanked him and walked up to the front door. She hesitated for a moment before pushing it open. Inside, she was greeted by the sight of a bustling special education school. Children of various ages and abilities were engaged in activities, supervised by a few staff members. A distinguished-looking elderly man approached them, leaning on a cane. "You must be Rebecca Harris." "I'm Henry Walker," he said warmly. "Mr. Anderson told me about you." Rebecca was taken aback. "I had no idea the house was being used as a school." Mr. Walker chuckled. "Yes, Mr. Anderson left it to us to continue our work here. But don't worry, there's a living area upstairs that you can use. And if you're willing, we could use your help around here." Rebecca's mind raced. She had come here expecting a simple house but found something far more meaningful. "I'd love to help," she said, surprising herself with her own eagerness. "Great," Mr. Walker said. "Let me show you around." As they toured the facility, Rebecca felt a sense of purpose rekindling within her. The children were full of life, and the staff seemed dedicated and compassionate. She noticed a woman watching her with a hint of hostility. Mr. Walker introduced her as Linda, a teaching assistant. Rebecca sensed that Linda wasn't pleased with her arrival, but decided to focus on the positive. After the tour, Mr. Walker led them upstairs to a cozy living area. "It's not much, but it's home," he said. Rebecca looked around, feeling a mix of relief and apprehension. This was a new beginning, filled with uncertainties, but also with potential. She turned to Ethan, who was exploring their new space. "What do you think, buddy?" Ethan grinned. "It's different, but I like it." Rebecca smiled, her heart swelling with hope. For the first time in a long while, she felt that things might just turn out all right. Little did she know, this was only the beginning of a journey that would test her resilience and bring unexpected support in the most challenging times. The next morning, Rebecca woke up early, feeling a mix of excitement and nerves. She had agreed to help out at the school, and today was her first day. Ethan was already up and dressed, eager to explore more of their new surroundings. "Ready for your first day at the new school, buddy?" Rebecca asked, ruffling his hair. Ethan nodded enthusiastically. "Yeah, I can't wait to meet the other kids." They headed downstairs, where Mr. Walker greeted them with a warm smile. "Good morning, Rebecca, Ethan. How did you sleep?" "Very well, thank you," Rebecca replied. "We're looking forward to today." Mr. Walker led them to the main hall, where children were beginning to arrive. The school was abuzz with activity, and Rebecca marveled at the dedication of the staff. Linda was there too, her eyes briefly meeting Rebecca's before she turned away. As the day progressed, Rebecca quickly got into the rhythm of things. She found herself drawn to the children, each with their own unique needs and personalities. There was Sarah, a bright-eyed girl with Down syndrome who loved painting, and Tim, a boy with autism who had a passion for numbers. During lunch, Rebecca sat with Mr. Walker in the staff lounge. "This place is amazing, Mr. Walker. You've done an incredible job," she said, genuinely impressed. "Thank you, Rebecca, but it hasn't been easy. We struggle with funding and resources, and my health isn't what it used to be," Mr. Walker admitted, a hint of weariness in his voice. Rebecca felt a pang of sympathy. "I'm here to help in any way I can. This place deserves to thrive." Mr. Walker smiled gratefully. "Your presence is already making a difference." That evening, as Rebecca and Ethan settled in for the night, they heard a knock on the door. It was Tom, the taxi driver who had helped them the previous day. "Hi, Tom. What brings you here?" Rebecca asked, surprised but pleased to see him. "I just wanted to check in and see how you're settling in. Plus, I brought some dinner," Tom said, holding up a bag from a local restaurant. Rebecca's heart warmed at the gesture. "That's so kind of you. Come in, please." They shared a meal together, and Rebecca found herself opening up about her past, her divorce, and the challenges she faced. Tom listened intently, his compassionate nature evident in his every word and gesture. "You've been through a lot, Rebecca, but you're strong, and you're doing an amazing job with Ethan," Tom said, his eyes full of sincerity. "Thank you, Tom. Your support means a lot," Rebecca replied, feeling a connection forming between them. As Tom left, Rebecca couldn't help but feel a flicker of hope. Maybe, just maybe, this new chapter in her life would bring not only challenges but also unexpected blessings. The following weeks flew by in a blur of activity. Rebecca became more integrated into the school community, working closely with Mr. Walker and the other staff members. She took on a variety of roles, from helping with lesson plans to organizing activities for the children. Her background as a school counselor proved invaluable. However, not everything was smooth sailing. Linda's hostility became more apparent. She frequently undermined Rebecca's efforts, making snide comments and questioning her decisions in front of the other staff. One afternoon, after a particularly tense exchange, Rebecca found herself alone with Linda in the staff lounge. Determined to clear the air, she took a deep breath and approached her. "Linda, can we talk for a moment?" Rebecca began, trying to keep her tone calm and friendly. Linda looked up, her expression guarded. "What is it? I know we got off on the wrong foot, and I'm sorry if my presence here has made things difficult for you. But I'm here to help, not to replace anyone," Rebecca said sincerely. Linda's eyes softened slightly, but her voice remained tense. "It's not about you, Rebecca. It's just, Tom and I were close once, and seeing you two together brings up old feelings." Rebecca nodded, understanding dawning. "I had no idea. Tom is a wonderful person, and I understand why you would feel that way. But I assure you, my main focus is the children and making sure this school continues to thrive." There was a long pause before Linda finally sighed. "I guess I've been unfair to you. I'm sorry." "Thank you, Linda. Let's try to work together and support each other. The kids need us to be a team," Rebecca said, extending her hand. Linda hesitated, then shook Rebecca's hand. "All right, let's do this." From that moment, the atmosphere at the school improved. Linda and Rebecca began to collaborate more effectively, and the children flourished under their combined efforts. One evening, as Rebecca and Ethan were preparing dinner, there was another knock on the door. This time it was Mr. Walker, looking more frail than usual. "Rebecca, I need to talk to you about something important," he said, his voice trembling slightly. Rebecca's heart sank, sensing that whatever Mr. Walker had to say would be significant. She invited him in and sat him down at the kitchen table. "What's wrong, Mr. Walker?" she asked, her concern evident. Mr. Walker took a deep breath. "I've been keeping something from you, Rebecca. My health is worse than I've let on, and I need to step back from running the school." Rebecca was stunned. "But who will take over?" Mr. Walker looked at her with a determined expression. "I want you to take over, Rebecca. You have the skills, the heart, and the dedication to lead this school." Rebecca felt a mix of emotions: honor, fear, and an overwhelming sense of responsibility. "I don't know if I'm ready for this, Mr. Walker." "You are, Rebecca. I've seen how you work with the children, how you inspire the staff. You can do this," Mr. Walker said firmly. Rebecca looked at Ethan, who was watching them with wide eyes. She thought about all they had been through, the challenges they had faced, and the strength they had found within themselves. "All right, Mr. Walker. I'll do it," Rebecca said, her voice filled with resolve. As Mr. Walker left that evening, Rebecca knew that the Real journey was just beginning. She would need to draw on all her resilience and strength to navigate the challenges ahead. But for the first time in a long while, she felt truly ready to face whatever came her way. Rebecca spent the next few days in a whirlwind of activity, preparing to take over the leadership of the special education school. She sat with Mr. Walker, going over every detail of the school's operations, ensuring she understood the responsibilities she was about to inherit. Despite her initial apprehension, she felt a growing sense of purpose and determination. Ethan, sensing the change, was supportive and eager to help. "Mom, can I help with anything?" he asked one morning. Rebecca smiled at her son, appreciating his enthusiasm. "Just keep being the great kid you are, Ethan. That's more than enough." As Rebecca stepped into her new role, she faced immediate challenges. The school's funding was precarious, and the resources were stretched thin. She knew she had to secure additional support to keep the school running smoothly. Her first task was to organize a fundraiser. Rebecca gathered the staff for a meeting. "We need to raise funds to ensure we can continue providing the best care and education for our students," she announced. "I propose we organize a community event to raise awareness and funds." Linda, now more cooperative, nodded in agreement. "I think that's a great idea. We can involve the students and their families too." Tom, who had been increasingly involved with the school, offered his support. "I can help with logistics and transportation. Let's make this event something the whole community will want to attend." The team worked tirelessly over the next few weeks to plan the event. They decided on a fair, complete with games, food stalls, and performances by the students. Rebecca reached out to local businesses and residents for donations and support. The response was overwhelmingly positive, giving her a boost of confidence. On the day of the event, the school grounds were transformed into a bustling fairground. Colorful banners fluttered in the breeze, and the sound of laughter filled the air. Parents, children, and community members mingled, enjoying the various activities. Ethan ran up to Rebecca, excitement shining in his eyes. "Mom, look at all the people. This is amazing." Rebecca hugged him. "It sure is, Ethan. I'm so proud of everyone." As the day progressed, Rebecca moved through the crowd, thanking attendees and ensuring everything ran smoothly. She felt a deep sense of fulfillment watching the community come together in support of the school. Later in the afternoon, Mr. Walker took the stage to address the crowd. His voice was weak but filled with gratitude. "Thank you all for coming today and supporting our school. This place means the world to me, and seeing all of you here gives me hope for its future. And I want to introduce someone very special who will be taking over the reins. Rebecca Harris." The crowd applauded as Rebecca stepped forward. She felt a surge of emotion as she looked out at the sea of supportive faces. Thank you, everyone. I am honored to take on this responsibility, and I promise to do my best to continue Mr. Walker's incredible work. Together, we can make this school a beacon of hope for our children. The event was a resounding success, raising enough funds to secure the school's immediate future. But more than that, it strengthened the bonds within the community and boosted the morale of everyone involved. In the weeks that followed, Rebecca settled into her new role, facing each challenge with resilience and determination. She worked closely with the staff to implement new programs and improve existing ones. The school's atmosphere became more vibrant and dynamic, reflecting the renewed energy and commitment of the team. Despite the positive changes, Rebecca faced personal challenges as well. Her relationship with Tom deepened, but it also brought complexities. One evening, as they walked through the park with Ethan, Tom opened up about his past. "Rebecca, I want you to know something. When my sister died, I promised her I would take care of her daughter, Mia. She's my top priority," Tom said, his voice filled with emotion. Rebecca squeezed his hand. "I understand, Tom. Family is everything." Tom smiled, grateful for her understanding. "Mia is doing well now, thanks to the support of the school and the community. I just want you to know that I'm here for you too, no matter what." Rebecca felt a deep sense of connection with Tom, knowing they both valued family and community above all else. Their bond grew stronger, providing her with the emotional support she needed to navigate the demands of her new role. As the months passed, Rebecca continued to lead the school with unwavering dedication. She faced setbacks and obstacles, but each challenge only made her more determined to succeed. The staff rallied around her, inspired by her resilience and vision. One day, as Rebecca was preparing for a meeting with potential donors, Mr. Walker called her into his office. He looked friendlier than ever, but his eyes sparkled with pride. "Rebecca, I want you to know how proud I am of you. You've brought new life to this school, and I couldn't have asked for a better successor," he said, his voice trembling with emotion. Tears welled up in Rebecca's eyes. "Thank you, Mr. Walker. I couldn't have done it without your guidance and support." Mr. Walker reached out and took her hand. "Promise me you'll keep fighting for these children, no matter what." Rebecca nodded, her voice choked with emotion. "I promise." As she left Mr. Walker's office, Rebecca felt a renewed sense of purpose. She knew there would be more challenges ahead, but she was ready to face them head-on. With the support of her community, her staff, and her family, she was determined to build a brighter future for the special education school and all the children it served. And so, Rebecca's journey of resilience and new beginnings continued, filled with hope, love, and the unwavering belief that, together, they could overcome any obstacle. The months following Mr. Walker's heartfelt conversation with Rebecca were filled with progress and challenges. Rebecca's dedication to the school never wavered. She implemented new programs, secured additional funding, and fostered a nurturing environment for the children. The school thrived under her leadership, and the community's support grew stronger each day. Despite her busy schedule, Rebecca made time for her personal life. Her relationship with Tom deepened, and they became a solid team, supporting each other through thick and thin. Ethan and Tom's niece, Mia, formed a close bond, often seen playing together and helping out at the school. One crisp autumn morning, Rebecca received a call that would change everything. It was from a foundation interested in supporting special education programs. They had heard about the remarkable work being done at the school and wanted to visit. Excitement and nerves buzzed through the school as they prepared for the visit. On the day of the visit, Rebecca stood at the entrance, welcoming the representatives with a warm smile. She took them on a tour, showcasing the vibrant classrooms, the engaged students, and the dedicated staff. The representatives were visibly impressed. One of them, Mrs. Green, turned to Rebecca with a smile. "It's clear that this school is a special place. We would like to offer substantial funding to support your programs and help expand your reach." Rebecca's heart soared with joy. "Thank you so much. This will make a world of difference for our students." As the representatives left, Rebecca felt a profound sense of accomplishment. The school's future was more secure than ever, and she could now provide even more resources for the children. That evening, Rebecca, Tom, Ethan, and Mia gathered for a small celebration. They cooked dinner together, laughing and sharing stories. As they sat down to eat, Rebecca felt a deep sense of gratitude for the journey she had been on. To new beginnings and the incredible support we've found along the way, Rebecca toasted, raising her glass. Tom smiled warmly at her. And to you, Rebecca, for being the heart and soul of this school and this family. As they clinked glasses, Rebecca's thoughts drifted to Mr. Walker. She decided to visit him the next day to share the good news. The next morning, Rebecca walked into Mr. Walker's office, finding him reading a book. His face lit up when he saw her. "Rebecca, what brings you here?" "I have some wonderful news," she said, sitting down beside him. "A foundation has offered significant funding to support the school. We can expand our programs and help even more children." Mr. Walker's eyes sparkled with pride. "That's incredible, Rebecca. I always knew you would lead the school to great heights." Rebecca reached out and took his hand. "I couldn't have done it without your guidance and support." "Thank you, Mr. Walker." As the weeks passed, the school underwent remarkable changes. New programs were introduced, facilities were upgraded, and the staff grew to accommodate the increasing number of students. The school became a beacon of hope and excellence in the community. Rebecca's hard work and dedication paid off, not just in the school's success, but in the lives of the children and families it touched. She watched with pride as Ethan thrived in his new environment, surrounded by friends and mentors who supported him. One afternoon, as Rebecca walked through the bustling halls of the school, she paused to take it all in. The laughter of children, the dedication of the staff, and the vibrant energy of the school filled her heart with joy. Tom appeared beside her, wrapping an arm around her shoulders. "You've created something amazing here, Rebecca." She smiled up at him. "We did this together, Tom. All of us." As they stood there, surrounded by the fruits of their labor, Rebecca felt a profound sense of fulfillment. She had faced challenges and uncertainties, but she had emerged stronger, supported by the love and dedication of those around her. The school continued to grow and flourish, a testament to the resilience and determination of its community. And through it all, Rebecca found not only a new beginning but also a sense of purpose and a place to call home. In the end, Rebecca's journey was a story of resilience, starting anew, and finding unexpected support in the most challenging times. It was a story of hope, love, and the unwavering belief that together, they could overcome any obstacle and build a brighter future.